Sanlam has reported a 40% increase in headline earnings, reflecting a strong performance across its divisions. Headline earnings per share also rose to 9.84 billion rand rather. Total new business volumes, on the other hand, hiking by 7%. That's with a 15% jump in revenue in the life insurance operations, driving growth. Sanlam has also announced plans to acquire a 25% share in African Rainbow Capital, which owns a digital bank at Time Bank and is funded by billionaire Patrice Motsepe. CFO Abigail Mukhuba joins us now for this discussion. Thank you so much for your time, Abigail. What stands out as the highlight in these results?
Thank you and good afternoon. I think what stands out for me or for us is mainly the delivery of our strategy over the last few years. We're seeing it culminate in delivery across the business. With the diversification of the group, we've seen all the lines of business and all the diversified regions actually performing very well. And that culminated into the exciting excellent increase in our earnings as well as our cash earnings performance. Overall, I think the biggest excitement is that it's in line with our strategy and what we've been planning since 2020.
What's become of interest is the insurance sector really finding itself dealing with natural disasters. I'm interested in finding out where then opportunities for future gains lie for Sanlam.
Obviously, yes, insurance is a large part of our business. However, we are in multiple lines of business, not just insurance. We are in credit and structuring, we are in investment management, and obviously life and general insurance. At the end of the day, I think what we are committed to and what we invested in is financial services from what we call cradle to grave, such that we enable our people to live with confidence in whatever stage or whatever phase of their lives are. So I would say that in terms of you asked where else would we find our growth or where will income be generated from, it's not only in insurance. Obviously, insurance is our main base, but it is all the other alternatives and other businesses that we have within the group.
You referenced the term from cradle to growth, Sanlam's position on the two-pot system now that it's in implementation.
Obviously, for the main, our main purpose is to make sure that people retire with dignity and that they retire with enough savings to be able to take care of themselves as well as their families. We also understand that you can have emergencies in life that then it doesn't help to have money sitting somewhere that you are unable to access in case of emergencies. So we are in support of the two-pot system. In fact, we are pleased with the fact that it will, in the long run, allow for greater preservation of retirement earnings, therefore reduce the risk where people actually end up retiring without the necessary reserves. I think in the short term, obviously, it does put a lot of strain and pressure on our systems, which systems are actually, from what I gathered the last few days, have been handling the process very well. But it also does mean that there needs to be some responsibility in terms of people withdrawing money, that they're actually withdrawing funds that they genuinely need for emergencies. And in that case, we're obviously pleased to be able to be in a position as an industry and as a company to enable such access to emergency funds.
Lastly, given the sound results that you've released, the near-term outlook, especially in a South African dispensation where sentiment is improving.
Yes, it's improving and we're excited and we're aiming and hoping that it delivers also economic growth as well as growth in the overall GDP of our country. Our industry is obviously closely linked with the growth of the economy and the GDP performance. Having said that, even in the difficult times, Sanlam has performed very well and performed very well against our own targets and against our peers. So we're looking forward and we're very positive about the outlook of South Africa. And we're hoping that over the next few years, with the optimism that has come through and the turnaround in the sentiment within the country, that leads to economic growth and prosperity for our customers and South Africans at large.
Thank you so much for your input. Abigail Mukhuba is with Sanlam talking us through the entity's financial results.